Take one. Hello, everyone. This is Where the Music Lives On, the I.F.A.T.S YouTube channel. And here I am again, your host, Pamela D. And I have one of our dedicated members from the I.F.A.T.S page. This is Mr. Rishard. Mr. Rishard.
Bournes.
Rishard Bournes. I have to get this name right because let me tell you, folks, I have turned Richard's name. See, I did it again. His name is Rishard. That's
Rishard, yeah.
Rishard. So let's get the ball rolling. Mr. Rishard, and how are you feeling today?
Yeah. I'm feeling fine. Yourself, Pam?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I'm nice to happy to be here, and I'm glad you are too. I really am. And thank you for taking the time out to meet with us.
Not a problem.
Now, let's do what we always do. We're going to start at the beginning. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Rishard.
As far as music's concerned, just like anybody else, I came from the South Side Chicago, Dearborn Gardens on 38th and Federal near Comiskey Park before it became Guarantee Rate Field now. My mother, she loved jazz and blues. No, let me take that back. Jazz, blues, and gospel. My older brothers, because it was 7 of us, they was listening to rock, soul, disco, R&B, and jazz. So until I was around about 13, 14, that's all I listened to, was just that. And then one day I went to Simeon High School in Chicago. And so back then, just like they gave since the school was winning so many championships, they let the teams do what they want to do, sort of, kind of. And what I mean by that is they bring we had the boom boxes back then. This was the 80s. This was like 82, 83, 84. And so I stopped listening to the R&B and jazz stuff for a while, and I was venturing out. And so one day, I was at lunch, and this dude was playing this boombox, and so he was playing a tape, and this song came on, and this girl, I knew her because she was a sophomore. She was just going off on this tape of the song, screaming this name, Ron Hardy. She was like, "All right, Ronnie." And so I'm looking at her like, like she's high. So I'm like, nah, she ain't high. She just going off. She was just, they called it jacking back then.
They called it what?
And so jacking.
Okay.
It's like dancing. It was like a dance.
Okay.
Jacking, yeah. I'll do as much as a synopsis as I can.
Okay.
It was like, when it comes to house music wasn't called house music in 1984. It was called preppy, new wave, punk out.
Okay.
Anybody from Chicago heard Kent? He had a show called a Punk Out Show, and on this show he had mixes and people playing like rock. They were playing rock, disco music. I know. It sounds weird, but that's what we was dancing to back then. And so, and then you had the kids called preppy. They was all dressed up in like preparatory school clothes. And so I couldn't afford that. I was just jeans, t-shirt, and gym shoes. That's all I had. That's all I had now. And so, but anyway, back to the girl. She's dancing to this tape by this dude named Ron Hardy. I never heard of this guy until he was screaming. I heard of the Hot Mix 5. It was these DJs that they played club music on the radio. But what I heard from this tape, I never heard the stuff. Some of the songs I heard from the radio, but some of these songs he was playing, it was like it was this track called Your Mind, and I didn't know until years later it was done by this guy named Robert Owen. He sung
Hmm.
for Mr. Fingers, and, which was Larry Heard, and then he went out on his own. But you know, uh, a guy that was instrumental to house music, his name was Marshall Jefferson. So and so he he produced this song, and this girl was dancing crazy off of it, and I wanted to know who was this dude. So before uh, I say in my senior year, I got to find out who Ron Hardy was, and that's when I really got into collecting records and finding
Okay.
out because I wanted to know what he was playing because I wanted to play it too. And so, and that's when I went down what we call the rabbit hole. And so I started collecting records and started listening to what he was playing and some of the stuff he had back then. It was on tape only, and they gave it out to their friends. And if you managed to get a tape from a Ron Hardy tape from one of his friends, you had to pay some money for it. So
Hmm.
I got a couple of tapes, paid some money for it, and most of it was they called them beat tracks back then. And so it was just something. It was a track somebody made at their house, and they gave it to Ron. Ron listened to it, like, all right, I'll play that. I'll play it at this club. It's called a Music Box. It was two of them. It was one on Wacker, and it was another one on Michigan. Uh, the one on Michigan closed, and it went to one on Wacker. That's the one everybody's talking about, what they call the underground, because you had to go literally under under this upper Wacker and lower Wacker. You had to go underneath to find this spot, and the place was so loud that you could literally hear it above ground, and it stayed open till like around 12, literally from about 12 o'clock the next day on the days they were playing. And so that's when I got the bug in me to start collecting records, and I've been doing that kind of ever since.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
started collecting. I'm sorry. Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. So yeah, let me just pull you back for 1 second because a lot of the terminology that you're using and the places that you're mentioning are strange to me. And I shouldn't say strange like in a way like it's weird, but I'm just not familiar with them. And I want
Right.
our listeners to also be familiar and have an idea. So this is all taking place in Chicago,
Yes. Yes. In
correct?
Chicago, I say between like uh when I got into it between like the Hot Mix Five was like 82. And but Ron, when I first heard Ron Hardy, it was like 84. I was a sophomore at seminary.
Okay. So the
Heard him.
Hot Mix Fives, is that what they called it, or is that a
Okay, the Hot Mix Five, real quick, was like a collection of DJs. It was like it was five. In the end, it was five of them. At the beginning, it was six, and it was done by this guy named Lee Michaels. He got this idea of bringing the club experience on the radio,
Oh,
and
okay.
so he would get
Okay.
these guys. It was Rafi Rosario, Farley, Funky Keith, which later became Farley Jack Master Funk, Rafi Farley, Mickey Oliver, Kenny Jason, and Scott Steele, Scott Smoking Steele. Got these guys on the radio, and they would play. They had different styles with their mixes. They led it like Frankie. He was on the Hot Mix Five. Frankie Knuckles, and
Okay.
Mario
Okay.
Fulton, you guys and others. But just and so, but it was like when I heard them, they would play like like a Italo disco, which I got into. Farley was the main guy. He would play for the last hour, and he would play. It was like everything, like rock. He would play a jazz. He would play like Donald Byrd, or he would play a Italo song like "Stop, I'm Hungry," and then he would play these house tracks. Uh, I like to call them songs. I hate saying the word tracks, but he would play these house songs like uh, not so much "Move Your Body," but like the "Mystery to Love," like the hard to find dub version. He would play that
Okay.
stuff,
Okay.
and
So
so. Mhm.
all of this coming together like that with these fellows that you meet and the type of music
Mhm.
that they were playing, and you said
Right.
you began to collect this music, but the music that
Yeah,
you were collecting, was
yeah.
it similar music or was from every genre?
After I heard Ron, I started doing every genre because I found out Ron was playing. It was like, how can I say it? It was like with the stuff you heard on the radio was like dinner, but the stuff Ron and Frankie was playing that was so hard to find, not so much so far hard to find, but it was real different. That was like dessert. And that's why I wanted to get the dessert
Okay,
to what they
okay, I
were having.
got you. I got you. So and you're saying you're about how old? A senior in high school doing this
I was
transition. So
when I first started collecting records, I was a senior. I was a
okay.
senior.
And what
And
does your collection look like now?
ooh. Well, it's in storage. I had to put it in storage. It's pretty big. Like
Wow. Wow. That's great. That's great.
no
I
joke.
love people that collect music like that. That's amazing to me. Always has.
Yeah, and I just like collecting records. I don't like collecting CDs. I don't like uh doing the MP. I never was into that. I like collecting the record. I liked having that hard copy because anybody
Uh-huh.
can get a CD or MP3. I'm like, nah,
Correct. Correct.
got the record.
You
And
got
it's
the
hard to show because sometimes some of the information isn't on the CD or on the MP3, and
uh-huh.
sometimes like records have the like the like the fold out covers, the gatefold covers, and you
Sure.
read from end to
Sure.
end and who produced this and who engineered this, and then after a while you want to follow the person who engineered and produced it. And like sometimes I can listen to a song like, yeah, I could tell he did that. Like Chris Jasper. I could hear his song. I could hear a song that he made, and even if this was a different artist, I could tell that he made it without knowing
Okay.
that he made it.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
it's just
that's nice. That's nice. So you and I have that similar, being able to know exactly who did what on this record. All that
yeah,
information is out there. So now, did you grow up with your mom and father?
yes. My
Okay.
mother and
So
father they never got together, so that was interesting because my father, I went out to this place called Robbins, Illinois, which is right outside of Chicago, and one of the aspects of meeting with him was this guy named Pearl Harvey Boyd, and he taught me about different types of R&B music, like
okay.
stepping music, and I wasn't into it until I met him.
Okay. And
And
that's what I was getting to. I wanted to know how much of an influence of that music your parents had on you, because I would have to suggest that you grew up listening to this. Your house was always filled with music. Am I right?
yeah, especially with my older brothers, and
Okay.
then that's when I
Are
got
you
to
the
learn like,
youngest?
huh?
Are
No,
you
I'm
the young?
next to youngest. The
Okay.
youngest is 5 years younger than me.
Okay. Okay. So listening to your parents and your older brother, that was some heavy influence on you.
Yes, yes, very
Okay.
much. But when I got to high school, it was more or less the Hot Mix Five, and hearing Ronnie and Frankie and Lil Lewis. Yeah, it's like after high school, that was from my high school until now. That's what most influenced me listening to those guys because I wanted to know what they were playing. And
Okay. Yeah. I understand.
yeah,
That was the most.
especially Ronnie, Frankie, Lil Lewis, and DJ Rush.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Those formative years. You're getting that taste and learning everything as much
Right,
as you can.
because if you ask me, everybody has their aesthetic,
Yes.
into their to when they from their teacher from their teenagers to their adult years, and it was cool what I was listening to at home, but it was like that. It's just that bug. It was just that bug in me. It's like, man, I wanted, especially when I got into disco. That's why I post a lot of disco stuff, a lot of disco, some new wave stuff, because it's like that's what I was into. It's like that's what I was trying to explain. Sometimes when people ask, why you post all these disco songs and all these other all these other genres. I'm like, well, I come from a culture where there's club kids, you
Uh-huh.
know.
Uh-huh.
All right. And so what I mean by that is, to make it real short and brief, is club kids, like some of the older folks that are in the group, they had like sock hops, and they went to have blue lights in the basement and all that. Where I come from, we have none of that. You know, we just like with Jacket, you could do it by yourself. You didn't need a partner to do that dance.
Yeah, I
So by
understand.
the time by the time my formative years came, it's like industrial music, and you meeting goth kids, and you meet kids that just want to go out and have a good time. Then you also met kids that was in the life. What I mean by in the life is they did the alternative lifestyles. That's what they called it back then. Now they call it LGBTQ.
Correct.
And
Correct.
so, um, uh, once you met them, and we didn't care where you was from. We was like, we just want to go out. Some want to get high, some want to party. But me, I was never into getting high, getting drunk. I just want to go out and party.
Yeah.
I want to hear what this dude was playing, or what these guys was playing. And
Oh,
so and so I'm mostly come from a club culture. It's like,
gotcha.
if you talk to me about music, I'm gonna talk about club culture. I'm like, no, this is where I'm from. I ain't pretty much care about trying to get dates and nothing like that. I mean, yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
guy. I'm a normal human being, but I wasn't into that. I was into, man, I want to know what that dude was playing. I
Yes.
want to know
Yes.
how and then it's like I would tell people like, Ron was different. He would play stuff sped up. What I mean by sped up is uh this guy named Robert Williams. He he as far as house music is concerned, he brought Frankie here. And he knew Frankie and this other guy named Larry Levan. Long story short, Larry Levan was really big in New York playing disco. He asked Larry Levan, could he come here? Larry was like, nah, but why don't you play Frankie, since he's playing all these bathhouses, not getting that much attention? He brought him out here. So the story goes. I don't want to get into all that, but what I want to say is that, it's like when I first heard Ron, he was playing stuff all pitched up and songs. It's like I'm thinking the song is all pitched. I'm thinking the songs, they sound like chipmunks on the song. Found out it was a 33, and he put it on a 45 because Robert's like, yeah, he was high half the time. And the song sounded slow to him, so he sped everything up.
Oh gosh. Oh God.
But the thing was, what was so magical about that dude, it was like he would play a song normal, like a normal up tempo song, and he would blend it with a song that's really pitched up, and you couldn't tell the difference, that it was pitched up real high. It
Yeah.
was like some songs you can do that, some songs you can't, some songs you could tell the difference. But it was like the way he did it, it was like it's just like he would take a record, put the record upside down, get a spool, and put a pencil in it, put the record upside down, move it, adjust the weight, and flip the needle and flip the cartridge upside down to play the record backwards.
Wow.
That's how he would play his records backwards, or he would have it on tape backwards.
Wow.
Yeah,
I can't even imagine, but wow. Let
yeah.
me
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, no.
And so
I want to
it's like that's where I came from. It was like stuff like that influenced me to go DJ, and and being in Chicago, I wouldn't say it's no different than anywhere else. It's just my experience probably different from anywhere else. You get what I mean? Especially
yes.
when dealing with other DJs and trying to DJ out here.
Rishard, what
Yes.
brought you to I.F.A.T.S? What brought you to I.F.A.T.S?
I think I saw you in town, another group. This was like 2016. This was like, yeah, around about September 2016. I
Mm-hmm.
saw y'all in another group, and then I had to bring my stepdaughter out Schaumburg. And so while I was waiting on her, I'm flipping through Facebook, and I saw y'all again on another group. And so yeah, that was around about, I say, November or December 2016. And I saw the group, and I saw some people that I knew on there from the other group you all were in.
Uh-huh.
And so I just stayed from there.
Okay. And well, you get there and you could say, this is whatever. I'm not really crazy about it. Maybe I need to move on, but you stayed. So
So I
what
stayed.
I'm trying to get is what was it about I.F.A.T.S that caused you to stay, that made you think, hey, maybe
Oh,
this is
that's
what I'm
that's
looking
real
for?
easy. It was a lot of songs that I knew of, but I didn't know the title or the artist. And it's
Uh-huh.
like people like Mike Green, Richard Miller, uh, you, a few others. It was like, okay, this would maybe stay, because I could, like anybody, you can leave anytime, like most people
Yes.
do.
Yes.
Because most people I see, it's like they do it for their attention. They want all their attention on them, and when nobody's giving them enough attention, then they leave. I'm like, nah, I'd rather share for what I know, because I see from Mike, it's more Mike Green. It was more Chicago soul, or music I knew from going out stepping, and from like Roz Womble. I hope I pronounced her name right. Like I used to listen to country music a lot, and she would post a lot of country music that I knew
Oh
of. I
yeah,
didn't know the artist.
Roz.
Yes,
Yes.
Roz. Yeah,
Mhm.
Roz. Like saying first and last names off the top of my head. And Richard, uh, he's very diverse. Not only he was he's diverse in like soul and R&B music. He also knows about a lot of rock, house, and jazz music. A lot of songs that he posts, some of them I knew, some of them like, man, I never heard this song before. And so and that's what made me stay onto it.
Okay.
And like Dominique and Kathy, and who else? And a lot of others on there. Yeah, that's the one thing I
Some
didn't
good
want
people
to just
there.
start mentioning their names and forget people.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Some
but
big good
most
people.
for the most part, those are the main names I see that post on there and still post on there from the
Now,
beginning.
Mike Green is also from Chicago. Now,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Did you guys meet there on the page?
yeah. Matter of fact,
Okay.
that's where I met him.
Okay.
Yeah, him and I believe his wife is still on there too. His wife is
Okay.
I forgot her name, but I know he's married. His wife is on there too. Um, Barbara Staples. Yeah, it's like a lot of stuff that
But the
some of
people
the
that
people
you're
post on
mentioning, the people that you're
there.
mentioning, have you formed a good online relationship with them? Because I think that's what most people like about our page, the camaraderie that you feel there within that group.
I usually send. I try not to do it a lot, but a lot of songs that I know I send it to like 4 people every morning. And the reason why I do it in the morning as opposed to later on the day, because I'm going to forget. So I read a post and I'm like, if y'all want me to do it, I won't do it. But it's usually 4 people that I post. It used to be a lot more, but it's like, yeah, but it's like there's 4 people that do it every morning. Sometimes they get it. Sometimes some songs they like, some songs they don't like. And I understand that, but I'm like, uh, I'd rather share information to people that will appreciate what I love just as much as
Okay.
I appreciate what they share.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I can understand that. Now, Mr.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Richard,
You know what? I
huh?
appreciate you too, because
Oh, thank
it's
you.
some
Thank you.
songs you post on there. There's some songs you post, like I think it was a song you posted on there, and it's like I knew the title just off of the song, but I never know who posted it. I mean, I never know who made the song, and
Uh-huh.
that's what I like
Uh-huh.
about you. It's like you post a lot of stuff I never heard. If
Oh,
it's
well,
if
thank
it's
you.
not if I heard it, I didn't know it. So either I didn't know the title or the artist.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're
Uh,
welcome.
I want to ask you, Mr. Rishard, And there's way more music out there.
Yeah,
Do you understand? There's way more music
it's
out
way
there.
more music out
Yeah.
there. Yeah, I always
That's
say
your
that.
moniker. That's your logo. That's you live by that. Can you tell us about that? Because generally it's not on every post, but it's on a lot of posts that people recognize. Who's that guy with the way more music out there? What's that all about, Rishard? Or did that just
Oh,
happen, off the cuff? Tell us.
off, off, off the cuff. Just one night I was posting. I think it was. I think it was. Sometimes you see a lot of songs that are not out. I don't want. It's like it's a lot of songs. And this, I guess somebody was saying something. Not somebody was saying something. In short, it's a lot of songs that be posted, and it's like it's the same songs.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, y'all can post something else, can y'all?
I
And
have a
so
feeling
one
that's
night,
what the genesis of it, I thought that was what it meant, because
yeah, I'm
and
like,
maybe even the genesis, because if
I
you
mean, I
how
like
many
Love
times
Won't
you're going
Let
to
Me
sing
Wait
this
too,
song?
but man, y'all, I see it like 2 or 3 times. I'm like, and like, when the last time you heard this? And it's something I just heard 2 minutes ago. I'm like, dude, I just heard it 2 minutes ago. I'm like, it's way more music out there than what y'all posted. That's what I want to say.
Yes,
That's
yes,
what I wanted. I was like,
yes,
no, I ain't going to insult nobody.
right.
It's way more music out there.
It's very tactful, very tactfully done. Way more music out there.
Other than
Yes.
what y'all posting, than what somebody y'all posting. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say that. That's why I'm like, it's way more music out there. And some people ask me, why do you say that? Because it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's, I mean, what this one DJ said, his name is Boo Williams. He said nobody can have it all, but you can have some of it, or you can
Okay.
know. Nobody knows it all, knows every type of genre of music there is. Like in house music, it was 83 genres of house music. I ain't gonna try to find all 83. I'm just gonna find what I know and that's it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
with hip hop and blues and everything else, is bad. And
I
you know,
like the house music that you share. I really do. And one thing I also like, because many times, with the other page that I won't mention here, the other page that I have, you come on there and you share music that I think I know this, but I'm not sure. And then when I hear it, I'm like, yes, yeah, I remember that. I remember that. I remember that in the club or wherever. And most of the music that you played was either played in New York or
right,
Chicago. Now, coming from Daytona Beach, Florida, I never heard this. So
right,
it was when I moved to these particular areas that I began to, except for Chicago, but I began to understand that the house music or trap music, whatever it is that you want to call it. And I was not a fan in the very beginning because I didn't understand what was happening.
mm-hmm.
And it took a time. I had to actually be at a club to understand what was getting these people so excited. And I'm glad I did, because I do like learning or being educated on different type of music. And do you feel that way also? Being
Yeah. I
educated on
mean,
different types?
especially uh, how can I say it? I like seeing people that aren't from a big city listen to stuff that comes from other places
Uh-huh.
and they get into it. I'm like, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to expand what you're listening to, what you're grasping. I mean, it's cool. I mean, I understand some people are in their ways, but it's also cool to go out of that box. Like, man, this rock song that sounds like a soul song,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
or this jazz song that sounds classical, stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like now I'm into I'm more or less into jazz, but I'm more or less
Okay.
into like that they call it from the UK, danceable jazz. You know,
Oh,
that
okay.
jazz you can dance to. That's why I started posting sometimes lately.
Yeah,
Jazz songs.
that's a new one for me, danceable jazz. Okay.
Yeah, danceable jazz, like Northern Soul. Northern Soul is just basically soul music,
Yeah,
like Aztec Soul. I love that stuff. Aztec Soul. They got Latino people making soul music.
yeah, yeah.
I just think that is so cool. I mean,
It
just
is.
like you said, you
It is.
came from Florida and you got to expand what you were listening to. I was like, okay, expand what, and because my thing is don't browbeat somebody because they listen to something different than you.
Oh, yeah.
We're all
Yeah.
in this together, you
Yeah,
know.
absolutely, absolutely. And not only that, people have a right to listen to what they want to. I mean, just there's just some genres that people are more attracted to than the other, and there
And then
shouldn't be
others,
anything wrong with that.
exactly.
Yeah. Um, for I.F.A.T.S, and we're going to be wrapping up soon. What is
Sure.
your favorite event in I.F.A.T.S, if you have one? Maybe you like
If
them
I
all.
have one, whenever you do the SSF, I keep on Soul
Oh, Super
Sundays,
Sunday, Super
Super
Sunday,
Sunday. Yeah,
Super
that's
Sunday
it,
feature
Super
with the
Sunday.
category. Yes. Okay.
Now the dual stuff, I'm like, okay,
Yeah, yeah, no, you're fine. You're fine because that gets us to know exactly what the members like and what they
but
don't
the Super
prefer.
Soul stuff,
Yeah.
and sometimes you gotta forgive me. My brain, I don't know what it is. It's like when it comes on Sunday, it's like I can think of a song or two, but it's the oddest thing. Monday morning, all these songs start running through my
Of
head.
course. Of course.
That's why people are like, why are you posting all these songs Monday to it? Because that's where they come to me. Monday to I say, I don't know why. I'm not
Right.
asking.
Yeah.
I just it's just like I have a brain freeze on Sunday and everything comes out Sunday night. So
And oh boy, it's
I
almost
know.
like when you have an interview. Oh, I should have said that, but it just didn't come out. You know, when you're going for a job interview, everyone always forgets. It's not until it's over that you have that memory.
Right. It's not until it's over. Like, yeah, like you had y'all had numbers. So I'm like, I could think of a billion songs with numbers on. I'm like, nah, it's okay. I'll let it go this week. And it does. It comes in my head from
Yeah,
Sunday
I
night
believe
around
that.
about 1, 2 in the morning, around about 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night until Friday. I can think of
I,
it's
I
like songs
believe
just
that,
pop in
Richard.
my head.
I believe that. Well, let me tell you, Richard, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. It really, really has, because uh, there are a lot of members that are interesting to me, a lot of them. And I appreciate all those members. But of course, there's members that are dedicated to the group, and I
Mhm.
find that you're one of them, and also one that is very interesting to me. So I'm glad I got the opportunity to speak with you, to talk with you, spend time with you, and I hope our listeners, will appreciate that, especially for those who see your posts but don't really know you. And I'm not talking about on a very personal basis, of course. I'm talking, with the music, on the area of music. So it's been a pleasure. And of course, one of the things we always do, we ask at the end of our interviews about a particular song. And I want to know from you, if you had to be asked what one song more than any other song that you would like to listen to, no matter what the circumstances are, if you had that one song, even if you're on an island, if you had that one song to listen to, what would that song be?
Be grateful, Walter Hawkins.
Be grateful. And why is that? I understand the title.
Uh,
Why has that been
why that particular song?
yeah,
Because sometimes what they say when life hands you lemons, you make lemonade,
there
stuff
you
like
go.
that. But
Hmm.
but always be grateful because there's what the song, the line, the lyrics of the song say, be grateful because there's someone that's worse off than you. Be
Yes.
grateful there was somebody that would love to be in your shoes.
Yes, 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 absolutely. Absolutely. And on that note, Richard, again, thank you for taking
Rashawn.
the time to spend with us, to spend with me. And I hope, I hope that you remain in our group because you are, I'm telling you, a vital part of I.F.A.T.S. You really
I
are.
appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And you take care.
Thanks to you, Pam. Take care. Thank
Okay.
you so much.
You're welcome. You're
Take
welcome
one.
anytime.